What's good? What's popping? What's happening? You are now tuned into the Voice of Tomorrow podcast. I'm here with the one and only Broke Boy. Yeah. And yours truly, Nathan Palamu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, we finally did it.
We did.
All this planning, these 2 months of planning, and we finally did it, man. How you feeling, man? I see you got a nice sweater on.
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Right now I'm rocking that ombre. You know, shout out real ombre from Montreal. This is my dog, Xavier, my AAU teammate from Red Rush days. We go all the way back. So I told him if he sent me some gear before the first episode, I'd rock it on the show. You feel me? So shout out to my bro. Much love to him. I'm going to be doing a photo shoot for his first volume that just dropped. So his website is actually going to be in the description below. So y'all check him out. You know, y'all check him out. He has some really good stuff. You know, stay tuned for the second drop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, you can find the link in the description. Again, ombre. I have it here myself. Sean, did you catch that?
Yes, sir.
You caught that?
It's looking good on you, bro.
It's cozy, man. I
Bro,
appreciate that.
You
Shout
don't
out
see that
Xavier.
color everything, bro.
Yeah, shout out Xavier, man. Appreciate that. And, man, so what you been up to?
Just working, man. You know, I got 2020 was a very good year for me all around. And what about yourself, bro?
Again, just working. You know, I've been working out. I've been, trying to figure out what I want to do for the year 2021. 2020 was a rough year, but at the same time, it was a beautiful year for me because I learned a lot. So just for now, just been working and, working on myself. Yeah.
All right, I love to hear that, bro. So besides work, how's basketball? You know, you still just playing for fun, just, shooting, you doing your thing?
Unfortunately, we can't because of this whole COVID situation. So I guess every baller right now is on lock. Like, we're just home. I'm doing my best I can, with the home workouts and the dribbling and in the garage. I'm just putting as much as I can. So if by any chance we have a season or if I continue to play, whatever, I'm ready, So
yes,
always got to stay ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love to hear that, bro. At least it's the off work, it's the work off the court that you put and behind the scenes. Definitely. That's what the people don't see, what's behind the curtains. So keep doing you, bro.
And yes, sir, I heard my boy, Broke Boy,
where'd you hear
has a photo shoot tomorrow.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
talk about that, man.
Yes, sir. First photo shoot of the year. I'm looking to come back with that edgy streetwear vibe. I've been doing a lot of portrait with my recent sponsorship. Shout out Bay Ice. And yeah, just trying to come with that heat all year. Posting new photo shoots bi-weekly and just working with different photographers throughout the year and just keep expanding, man.
Yeah, I like what you do with the streetwear. You're collaborating with the whole UK drip and the American, Canadian, just streetwear drip. And you're putting it all together, man. I love the success on IG.
Appreciate it.
Continue to do so, of course.
Thank
Of
you.
course. But today, we are talking about our friendship, me and Sean. That's my brother from another mother.
Yes, sir.
We're both Congolese, Congolese and
Senegalese.
And we're talking about how we met, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
So, when we talk our friendship specifically, bro, because we go way back. We go way back. So, I want to talk about how do you remember us first meeting?
Okay, so I remember seeing you sometimes at the YMCA, but I didn't know who you were. I'm not that type of person to just walk up on a random person and introduce myself. I'm more introverted, of course. So I was just like, okay, he plays ball. I didn't know you were Congolese. I didn't know you knew my brother, Isaiah, already. So I was just like, okay. So you're by some hoop. And then I came to the same hoop as you. And then you're form shooting. And I was form shooting as well. And you said something to me, and it just sparked the conversation. Next thing you know, I'm like, wait, are you Congolese? You're like, yeah, I'm Congolese. Like, oh. I was like, this guy's Congolese. Like, that's all I got to hear. Like, you're my dog. You're Congolese. Like, we bleed the same.
Yes, sir.
So that's how I remember the first initial time meeting you. How about you?
That's weird. I remember it kind of differently. I remember the first time we met you we didn't talk actually. I remember I heard about you already because my bro Josh, he's a trainer. He kept on mentioning you like, oh, he's the best in Hamilton. You know, he's killing it right now, blah blah. And people kept on, every time I asked like who was the top dog in the city, people kept on saying you. So I was like, yo, who's this Nathan guy, bro? I want to see him. I want to play him. I want to see who is this guy. So I remember one day I was playing. We were playing King's Court with Josh, Siphon, a bunch of other guys, and that's when you walked in the gym. You just walked in, and they were like, "Oh, that's Nathan. Hey, play 1-on-1 right now. Play 1-on-1." And I remember just being a little like I was like, "Oh shit, I'm on the spot." And I remember being off that day, so I was like, "Fuck, like he's about to expose me, man." And yeah, I remember we played, and I remember it was a little tight at the start, but then you won. And that's when after that we sat down and we talked, and that's when we sparked the conversation. So I remember it that way. I don't know, maybe the other time was probably the second time or something, but I remember it that way.
Yeah, that's crazy how people have different stories or different first, what do you call it? What's it called? Just what's it called? Impressions.
Mm-hmm,
there you go. Impressions
yeah.
when you first see somebody. So it's kind of crazy how yours is way different from mine. But that makes sense though.
Yes,
Because I remember playing you, but I didn't know if it was you. Like I didn't know who you were at the time. But I think I do remember playing you. But I remember we first introduced ourselves that one day where we were shooting the same net.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, that's true. I remember it. The second time we met, that's the time really that we talked. How do I remember? I was actually thinking about it on my way here today. I remember I couldn't dunk back then. I couldn't dunk. Believe it or not, I couldn't dunk. So I remember coming up to you. You were form shooting on the main net, and I asked you if you could dunk. And you remember?
I remember that. Yup, exactly.
I asked you if you could dunk, and then you said, "Yeah, of course." And I was like, "Oh, whoa, for real and stuff." I think I was in grade 10 back then, so I was like, "Oh, for real?" And then you were like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yo, do it right now." And you did a little easy one-hander, and I was shocked, and so I was like, "Oh, yo, you can dunk, blah blah." And then you asked to see my dunk, so I remember I went and like. Back then I was bouncy, but I couldn't put it in the net, right? So you were like, yeah, you got the right thing to just keep like doing it. And I was like, oh, yo, this guy actually rates me. Like, you know?
I remember that.
I remember we both made a deal. You were like, I was like, yo, next time I see you, I'm going to be dunking, blah, blah, blah. And you were like, all right, bro, I want to see it. And then the next time I saw you, what did I do, bro?
You slammed that shit.
Tell him, bro.
You slammed it. It was one hand off one foot. And he slammed it. I rated it. From there on, there out, I'm just like, man, we could be training together every day. We could go to the YMCA every day, go put in the work. We both have ambitions to be D1 athletes. We both have the ambitions to, just take it forward basketball back then. So that's what really sparked the relationship through basketball, man. Talk about, man, you lived in Hamilton for about a year.
Yeah, we'll say that.
You always come in the YMCA. We started building our relationship or friendship, whatever. And then summer comes. We're training. Cathedral time. There's tryouts. You show up. You bust ass. You were on the verge of making the Cathedral basketball team. Who knows what would happen if we played on the same team together in high school, man.
Man, I have a lot of what ifs in my life. I have so many what ifs, but that is probably one of the biggest what ifs I have in my life, because honestly, those times kind of defined me and my confidence and so much, because I remember you guys were coming fresh off an officer run, and I'm just this kid from Montreal, right? I'm out here, I'm going to this French school. I remember every time I told people the school I went to, they would just like, like they seen a ghost or something, right? And like talk about wasted potential, right? So it was crazy to me. It was just crazy to me, the whole aspect of the whole thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember us just grinding together. I remember this one time also, these guys were, I told the guys how I was training, to go to the tryouts and all that, and they kind of made fun of me. You feel me? They kind of made fun of me, telling me how like I have no chance of making the team. How I'm just this French guy from Montreal, that I'm not that good. I can just shoot, blah blah blah. So it kind of fucked with my mindset. I was like, damn, like these guys, these guys don't think I'm good enough to make that team. And I remember you were there, and you defended me. You told those guys how, like, they didn't know what they were talking about, how they should be worrying about their spots and stuff. And that gave me a boost of confidence. I was like, yo, this guy believes in me, so I can't disappoint at the tryouts. And I remember the tryouts were after school. So every time, I think it was for a 1 week period, the tryouts. And I would always, like, the whole day just think about, like, damn, like Nathan's gonna be there. Damn, like you were like in front of people, like people bowed down, when you walked in the gym, right? So to be by your side, and it was cool, bro. It was sick. Went to the tryouts, like you said it, ended up making the team, and it was a lovely experience, bro. Unfortunately, I ended up moving, but who would have, man? It would have been amazing. But shout out to you guys, because you guys still went to OFSA. Like how was that? Tell me that season, because you ended up staying, and tell me how that season went for you.
So that was grade 12 for me, wasn't it?
I
that
think
was
so.
grade 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our first year in a long time that we made OFSA. So we're a young team, not much experience, In the beginning of the season, it was kind of tough to mesh together as a team. During December, we had a couple losses where we weren't supposed to lose against weak teams. So the season wasn't looking too good for us in the beginning of the season. But time on, time again, I got better. I put it on myself that I have to lead this team. I have to be the leading scorer. I have to be a leader within the team. I have to set an example, throughout the squad. So the season continues. All were invited to the top tournaments, St. Michael's, just the top tournaments. We're starting to develop our team. We see Malcolm, we see Josh, we see Taylor. We have so many pieces off the bench, so many pieces. So our team was just collectively, as a group, becoming stronger. And by the end of March, when OFSA time starts coming, that's when I go into my prime. That's when I start setting records in OFSA. That's when I start, just averaging 25 up. And it just happened, And for me, doing that for the team, it just ignited a spark. And that's how we really showed up in OFSA. We got third place. It was a very tough experience, but I'm proud. I'm proud of it. Yeah.
I hear that, bro. I hear that. On my side, I ended up going to Brampton, Campion, specifically. That school actually produced a lot of greats. When you think about it, not just athlete-wise, but even music-wise. Like, Houdini's from there. R.I.P. Houdini. And my season was just all over the place. It was all over the place. It was a statement year for me, statement season. I thought that I was gonna do work, man. I thought I did work for the most part. The whole point of that season really was to get some film, right? So the whole point of the season was to get some film and send it out to some coaches. Thankfully, I was able to get a mixtape by North Pole Hoops, and I just try to do the most of it from there. It was hard, trying to get people to come to my games. We were losing so bad. It got to the point where we weren't even allowed to have fans or just in the stands. You feel me? And we would still lose. So it was all over the place. But after that, I was just really looking forward for AAU. So tell me, how was AAU for you?
So who would have known that a year later, since we didn't get the chance to run it at Cathedral 2 years later, North Star Hoops. Something happens. I don't know what happened, but we end up on the same team and we're playing together tournaments. We're playing CNIT. We're playing this, that. We're playing across America, this, that. Like, it was just exciting to finally play with my brother, man. That was an experience that I will never forget. There was one night that you came and slept over in Burlington. I think that was in a long time where you met, my mom. You guys really connected. And then there was a time where we're both downstairs and then we're telling our stories. We're opening up everything. We're just spitting it all out. No regard of, we're just not caring. And then your story is exactly like mine. Like, his story growing up is exactly like mine. Like, it's so similar that I'm just like, yo, this guy is, man, like, he's been through what I've been through. He understands me, I understand him. And it was just a lot. It was a lot to take in. I realized a lot about you. You realized a lot about me. And that weekend was a great weekend. What do you think about, when we finally opened up to our stories? Like, what was going through your head?
To me, I think that's the night. Personally, if you ask me, I think that's the night that defined our friendship. Because, man, before that day, walking into that conversation, I definitely seen you a whole other way, right? And just after that, having that whole convo, really putting everything out there, no filters, right? Because a lot of guys like to a lot of guys like to act like everything's okay in life, this is that. No filters. Sorry. And damn, like, I was like, bro, this guy's literally my twin, like, from another mother. We have, like you said it perfectly, everything is identical. Everything, bro. And then we play the same sport, and then we're from the same country. It was like, like, what are the odds, bro? It was more of a, like, what are the odds type of thing. And the next day, I remember we went to the tournament, just killed it. I think you had a crazy game that game. Our first game back, you snapped. And yeah, that summer was crazy. Lots of memory. Well, what was your highlight of that summer?
My highlight of that summer was just how much work we put in. I remember that weekend as well, we went to LA Fitness. We did some runs. The next day, we went into the sauna. He didn't believe in the sauna. He just thought the sauna was just a sauna, a hot place. He didn't think that would actually get his bounce up. So I'm like, yo, Sean, let's try the sauna one time. And trust me, in warm-ups, we're going to be going crazy. He's like, nah. But he tried it. We did the sauna 10 minutes. In the warm-ups, this guy was windmilling.
My legs were feeling juicy that day. Holy.
I'm not capping. He was windmilling. I was doing two-handers. People know my dunk pack is just a simple one-hand smash. But that day, I was doing everything. And we won.
Jumping out the gym, bro.
And we won that game, man. So with the whole North Star experience, what would you say, like, was the best moment at North Star experience?
The experience, bro. The experience, because I came back from a shaky season. It was disappointing. The expectations were high. So I was expecting a lot out of AAU. And then I was playing at another team. I was playing at grassroots first. And things didn't end up working out there. So, and I was playing for my high school team they had an AAU team breakdown, and it didn't work out there neither. So it was looking questionable for basketball. And then the North Star United opportunity presented itself. Amazing schedule, amazing staff. Shout out Coach Dwayne. Shout out Coach John. And shout out everybody on that North Stars team. I'm not gonna go name by name. Y'all know who y'all are.
Yep.
And that was a sick experience, just being able to travel, the practices, playing at LA is definitely different than playing a real game with each other, you feel me? So not being able to dominate on and off the court everywhere, just trips, being able to have my brother with me, it was a sick experience. It was really, really all around perfect.
Yeah, and there was one incident where I didn't go to Kentucky. Like, there was a North Stars tournament. They were going to Kentucky. I was supposed to go, but I didn't end up going for some odd reason. But Sean had to held it down. He went down. Him, Hassan, everybody started killing it down there. And I was cheering in the IG comments. Tell me about that Kentucky experience, because I missed out and I regret it. But, you know, we still live it through you. Tell me about that experience.
I'm glad you asked, bro. That was an amazing weekend. Oh my God. That Kentucky experience, I forgot what's the name of that dome, but I went to this dome and it had like over 100 gyms in that one dome, you feel me? And just all these games getting played at the same time. I met some cool people while I was in there, locked in with a lot of ballers from different states. There was teams from all over America and some teams from Canada too. We were one of the few teams from Canada. So it was crazy, man. Just the whole environment. And I remember that's probably the tournament where I locked in the most with the other teammates, right? Because remember, before it was mainly just me and you sticking to each other. You feel me? Like, we walk in there and practice together. We leave together after practice. But now I was just myself, right? So I had to talk to these guys. I had to associate with these guys and, man, create a brotherhood, right? You created a brotherhood. And I remember I started kind of poorly, the tournament. And I had Aspire Academy also that came to watch me. And I remember just asking the coach, like, hey, coach, I'm going to need some minutes, man. I got this prep school watching me, this, that. And, like, the first games, it was disappointing. But after that, I don't know who gave me a speech. And that just snapped into me. And then you seen the numbers, bro. I think it's still up on the IG page. I started just snapping, bro. I started snapping. And it was fun. It was fun. Man, the food, the late night walks, the everything. Loved it, man. Loved it.
Glad you enjoyed it. You know, glad you went. You know, at least one of us went. The same incident happened where the Chicago tournament where you didn't go and I went. Same thing happened. I had to connect with these guys. You know, I had to literally talk to these guys, learn about them, this, that, play as a team. I'm pretty sure they gained a lot of respect for me because I was putting up numbers as well. You know, splashing threes, this, that. We blew out every team. It was a beautiful experience in Chicago as well. It was very short, but it was a beautiful experience in Chicago as well. So what do you say about basketball? Because basketball really could unite two people, you know, two young kids that just play the same sport, could become best friends through basketball, through orange ball. So what do you think the importance of building relationships through basketball, not even just basketball, but sports, period?
There's this coach that used to always tell me this, and shout out Coach Phil. He's an NBA trainer also here in Toronto. He used to say, always respect your teammates, right? Because that one teammate that you guys are all laughing of because he's missing his layups, because he has a beer belly or whatever, is the same teammate that's going to be deciding on whether you get the job or not at his company. You feel me? So you never know where you're gonna fall into with people in life, right? So it's important to create that brotherhood, because you got to think, when you're playing basketball, you're always on the road with these guys. You're always around these guys. You guys have practice maybe 3 times, whatever, a week, and then you guys are practicing outside of whatever practice hours you guys have. These are your brothers on every level, right? So it's important to lock in with them. But what's sad is you'll see a lot. I don't consider it hate. It's just competitiveness, right? Some guys will talk down on each other, but it's competitiveness, and it depends on you how you see it. You can take it to your heart, cry about it, or you can use it as motivation, get better juice. But it's important. It's important. What's your point of view on it?
My point of view is that, man, basketball, not even just basketball, but sports, period, it really sets a filter, a free filter where it doesn't matter what skin color, where you come from, how you talk, how you speak, if you're African, if you're white, if you're black, if you're, just, it doesn't matter. You're still playing the same sport, and you still have the same goal, and you're still on the same team. You still want to win, and all that matters. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. You all go into one squad, one chain, and you learn about each other. You learn about different cultures through basketball. You go down to the States, you learn how the States people are way different from Canadians. Some people even travel international. You see how the ball is just everything's different. But the ball could take you many places. But it could really branch people that really don't hang out with each other. So I think that's the beauty about basketball and sports in general. It just brings so much people together that aren't even really supposed to be together, but because they play the same sport, it happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was deep, bro. It's a very well put together answer.
Appreciate that, broke boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very well put together answer.
Yes, sir.
So, aside from the basketball asset, so what? Because at one point, you were on off. You feel me? But through your times where you're not, where basketball isn't 100% focused, and you do that soul searching, and you figure other parts of your life. You feel me? How important would you say that is to sometimes not just focus 110 on something, and explore other things out there?
Yeah, so I think the sport of basketball, it really sets a mindset for you if you take it serious. Me and Sean were very ambitious people. We're very calculated people because of the sport of basketball. We really know what to do when it comes to making moves, when it comes to communicating to people. We email tons of millions of coaches. We build connects off strictly networking. So it really could branch you off. So if you were not to play basketball, it could really help you in the future. So I always made sure to always keep that mindset, to not just be strictly focused on basketball, but use basketball to build your character. And that build both of our characters, that build our friendship, that build our mindsets when it comes to working hard. Even if you don't get the results, none of us really got D1 offers like that or D1 looks, but we still stuck to it. We were still consistent with our work, and that's what basketball can do for you. That's what basketball can really do for you. So if you are trying to branch out, make sure you bring that mindset from basketball into your daily work, into your entrepreneurship, whatever you're doing. Always be 10 toes and always be strictly business like you were with your sport.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's facts. I agree with you, brother.
Yeah, it's just the mindset. The mindset, it travels with anything you do. It's not just a sport.
But so tell me this. So once you decided to do some of that branching out, what did you discover about yourself?
I discovered a whole lot about myself, that I'm not as introverted as I thought I was, that I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, towards my communities. They just see me as this basketball player, but I feel like I'm much more than that to my communities in Hamilton, Burlington, branches off to even Oakville, Toronto, doesn't matter. They know me for a basketball player. So when a basketball player is vulnerable like that, when a quote unquote well-known kid around the community that was good at his sport, great at his sport, branches off like that, it's gonna set a chain reaction for those people that are kind of in a bubble and want to be cool and this and that and want to have this image about themselves. I feel like I broke that, and you got to be willing to branch out and be yourself. Don't worry about the image. Don't worry about looking a certain way to be a hooper. Just be yourself. And people will love you more for being yourself than just this another image hooper that just how hoopers have that look and they have that charisma about them, and they're more I'm a hooper, man. I have that confidence about myself. But use that confidence for good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you think that mindset that you got from basketball splurged onto your modeling? Because we see the success, so there was definitely some correlation with the mindset that you brought over to the modeling, entrepreneuring, networking with the coaches, emails. It all correlates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So explain how that correlated for you so smoothly in so little time.
When I started this, what a lot of people don't know is there was a lot of planning that went into this. I didn't just wake up one day, called myself broke boy, right? So the whole initial plan was for the ultimate goal. You feel me? And I knew I had to strategize every move, just like a chess game. So I had to do some studying. I had to do more soul searching. I had to do everything that I knew would set me apart, right? So number one, quality. I remember quality and consistency, right? Because you see, the thing is, a lot of people talk about stuff, but they hardly follow through, right? So I remember when I first started this and I was telling people, hey, I'm going to start taking pictures, photo shoots, I'm going to be posting weekly and stuff. Because I used to have a ghost page, bro. So I used to tell people I'm going to be posting weekly, I'm going to do this, that. And they would kind of like brush it off like, yeah, that's kind of a lot, what you want to do, but good luck. If you ever follow through with it, good luck. And I kind of seen it like what's wrong with these people? What's that same mentality that comes back every time, like that like halfway encouragement. So I added that to the fuel, in basketball, just everybody doubting you, even when no matter where you get, how far you get in the sport, you'll always have, oh, he's not this, he's not that, So I was like, okay, I'm going to bring my A game. I'm going to bring that consistency. I'm going to bring everything that's going to set me apart. So like I said, I did a lot of studying. I, looked up a lot I got inspired by a lot. You said it earlier, the goal was really to bring the drip scene here. It's still early beginnings, but I was able to have the success I have because I strategized. You feel me? I didn't just go out there and tried it. There was months, once I put that ball down, it was just straight planning from there. Planning, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? What's going to come out of this? I had to have a plan B to a plan C to a plan D to, to everything. And that comes with basketball. Basketball, it's a grind every day. You don't know where you're going to end 2 years from now, a year from now. So you just put in that work every day and you have backup plans. And that was the same thing. So I was able to make my blueprint, stick to it, figure out what crowd was I trying to go for, what crowd was I aiming. And through quality and consistency, that's how the sponsorships and whatever started rolling through. So, yeah, brother.
So planning is very important and very essential to your success. Plays a big part.
Definitely, bro. It played a big part. It's number one, if you would ask me.
Yeah, so for a young kid, or not even young kid, it could be a 25-year-old and down. It could be a 26-year-old and down. They've been playing basketball their whole life, They don't really have another direction to go to, and they want to go into the entrepreneur scene or a model scene or even an actor scene. Doesn't matter what, but just not basketball. What would you say on how it correlates? Like, okay, I sent coaches emails here. Now I'm a network here. I watch film about this, and I'm going to watch tons of YouTube videos and learn about this skill. Like, how would you say the basketball mindset and the entrepreneur mindset to whatever you do correlates? Like, can you set an example by example for a young kid or young 25-year-old and younger? Tough question.
It's a tough question, definitely. You got to let me think of examples now.
Take your time, man.
How can I put this? Let's say, you kind of gave away the example, but I'm going to elaborate it a little more. Let's say when you want to get in touch with coaches, right? That's networking. Now in the entrepreneur world, you want to get in touch with people, just like a coach. Let's say you want a scholarship out of this school, right? You're not going to answer this coach every 2 weeks. You're going to be behind him. You're going to be, consistent with the calls, with the emails, with the follow-ups, whatever he's going to tell you to send, you're going to send because you want that. You feel me? And it's all about just translating. So in the entrepreneur world, you feel me? Let's say I'm going to give an example of myself. Let's say if I want to work with a photographer, I want to work with that photographer. I want that. So I'm going to be behind this photographer. I'm going to tell him what I want out of him. I'm going to be consistent with just keeping up, following up, and all of that. And that's what's going to get me what I want at the end of all of that. So that's one example. just being consistent with the follow-ups. You feel me? Like, I don't know why a lot of people like to act like celebrities. Everybody's on their phone all the time, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's all about mixing their priorities. That's one example I can give. Second example, what I would say to anybody in the age group like that you mentioned is to not stop at the first obstacle, right? You know, when I start this broke boy stuff till this day, like, I laugh when people say, oh yeah, you're living your best life, everything's picture perfect, blah blah blah. I'm like, man, if y'all knew, if y'all knew, man,
Y'all knew, yeah.
you feel me? Y'all, like, they see the packages, the new gear, the this, the that, the cars. It's nice, but it's like there's a lot behind it. There's a lot behind it, and all of it is just pushing through every obstacle. I had a lot of setbacks. I had a lot of times where I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Man, I don't want to think. And early into it, right? I'd be like, yo, I don't want to think. Yo, like, this happened. How am I gonna get out of this, bro? You know what? But I would always think the ultimate goal, right? You gotta ask yourself, what are you doing it for? When I played basketball, I had a goal. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm doing this. It's the same goal. You feel me? Just different route. So that's been the mindset, bro. That's been the mindset. That's the two main things I would tell people to have in their mindset if they're trying to accomplish anything. That's as far as them putting themselves out there.
Proud of you, man. Just proud of you. Like,
Appreciate it, bro.
You're a fighter, and that's what always stick with me. Even when I have tough times, I look towards what you're going through and what you've been through, and know that it's gonna be all right. You just have to fight. You just have to go through. Just have to continue being consistent, like you said, with quality. Don't sacrifice the quality for some quantity. You know, always be ahead. Always be on top of your stuff, and always be fighting. So what do you think, back to our friendship, what do you think about both of us, about our mindsets? You know how you're ambitious, I'm ambitious. We just really connect when it comes to that. What do you find most inspiring about each other, or just me individually? Like a spark.
I would say the fact that you're a risk taker, like me, right? And that goes in your journey as far as basketball, how you traveled. Not a lot of people are just ready to get up and leave family behind, especially when it comes to goals. And basketball isn't a classroom job or whatever. You know, it's not something you go to school or whatever for, so it's less safe, as parents like to put it. But
African parents.
you're a risk taker, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you have to spend this much for this opportunity, you'll do it. You know, if you have to go to this place and it's in the north, you'll do it. If you have to wake up at this time for this job, you'll do it. You feel me? And that, not a lot of people have that mindset. A lot of people like to play it safe, which cuts them a lot of just doors as far as bigger opportunities. But you create these opportunities for yourself by just being that risk taker.
Yeah. And what do you notice from the beginning of us meeting each other in, I think it was 2017, maybe 2018, to now? Because it's been a lot of development between me and you. We have developed very quickly, as just very quickly, because of certain occurrences that happen in our life. What do you think has changed about me and you? I'll have my say in it, and then I'll have your say in it.
Actually, I'm going to let you start.
You let me start?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Okay. So we talked about this before on the phone, about how I think Sean kind of in 2020 changed in the best way, improved in the best way. So Sean, he's much more calculated with his moves now. He knows what not to do, what to do. He thinks it straight. He doesn't act recklessly. impulsively. He sets a plan and he follows through the plan, and he's consistent with the plan. He's not all over the place. We've both in the past kind of been all over the place when it comes to basketball and switching teams, looking for teams, trying out for you with grassroots, and then trying to go branch out to a different. We've always been, all over the place, but we always had the same goal. But now Sean is much more direct, and he plans stuff out, which is amazing.
Respect, bro. I wanted a different life for myself. I knew I wasn't going to get it by staying the same. I knew basketball was done. I couldn't cry about it forever. I had a choice to make. I didn't want to be not saying no offense to any of them. I just wanted these 30-year-olds at LA talking about, keep grinding. And,
shit.
Nah, being honest, I just didn't want to push the clock, because that's one thing you never get back in life. That's time. You feel me? Like life doesn't stop at your problems, bro. So you just gotta keep the show running, bro. You gotta keep the show running, and if the plan's there, there's usually not a problem. It's all about just sticking to it and following it, man.
And what difference do you see from 2018 me and me now?
Kind of back to the risk taking, but in another way. Before you would take a lot of risk for basketball, but you wouldn't really take life risk, right? Like, your world was centered basketball, right? Not that that's wrong. Focus on what you gotta focus on. But you finally took that risk-taking ability and added it to life. You feel me? Like, when you came up to me with the France thing, I was like, damn, bro, this what we doing now? To just boom, yo, I'm traveling in this amount of weeks. I'm going to this place. I'm like, damn, bro, like, yeah, you're gonna be missing out on gym time. You know that? Yeah, bro, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. so you're actually cool with not playing basketball for 2 weeks? Yeah, bro. Okay. You know what I mean? So that, bro, and then you seen it with your YouTube channel. You started it, and you just, like you told me yourself, you seen this other side of you that you never seen before, which is amazing, bro. And that inspired me also when I decided to pursue something else. I was like, man, the guy that I know that is the most self-centered about basketball finally put his head to something else. What am I doing? You know what I mean? So definitely that. Yeah. Definitely that.
It's just sometimes you got to know. You got to feel the intuition within you and just know when it's time to try something new. Even if you fail at it, even if you get embarrassed or, you fail again, doesn't matter. At least you tried. That's the very important thing. And that's something that I've always been about, just trying things. And I don't care how I look. I don't care if they say this, they that, say that. I'm just going to try because I know this is helping me. This is helping me take risk. It's helping me be vulnerable with myself, be completely honest with myself, which is in turn helping me become self-aware of myself. And becoming self-aware of yourself is a powerful tool. So that's the reason why I created that YouTube channel, and I continue to find other passions that I could tap into and kind of step away from basketball. And COVID kind of forced a lot of hoopers to do that, just strictly, oh, boom, COVID, now what are you going to do? It really tested a lot of hoopers, and athletes, period. So you always have to not have a backup plan, but just know that if you don't have this one thing, you have this other passion that you could tap into.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. That's cool. Tell me about the YouTube, bro. Tell me about the YouTube scene on your side with what you're doing. Tell us a little bit what you're doing on that page.
Yeah, so I've been watching YouTube since like 2015. Like I love YouTube. Bunch of videos, I watch a lot of different videos, reaction channels, like everything. I just love being a YouTuber. It just sounds amazing to me. You have your own audience, you have your own fan base. You could get the numbers, you could get the the attention you want. You could spread a message, any kind of message you want for free on a free platform. That itself says a lot. Like, it could touch anyone for free. So that's why I made the channel. And at first it was just strictly, basketball videos with some psychology, because I like psychology and that stuff. So first it was more of a just basketball and psychology, and then I continue to see. And I told myself, there's a lot of people going through mental health issues that I've once went through. Why not make a video that's gonna relate to them in a type of way? I like writing. I've been journaling for a year now, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write down a video about how I felt and how I feel now, and see if people could relate to it, see if it could touch people. Add my little edits, add my little music, and let's see what can happen with it. And so far, it's really helped a lot of people. I get a lot of good feedback on it. People are shocked that I've become this vulnerable and be willing to share my story with other people so they could understand theirs and maybe even get through theirs. So that was the goal of my YouTube channel. And that's going to continue to be the goal of my YouTube channel.
Love to hear it, bro. Love to hear it. That's that itself, once again, is inspiring, bro. The fact that the intention wasn't money, it wasn't usually the negative things. It was to touch an audience and see if other people can relate to you, as far as just connecting, right? Having that connection, having someone that they can talk about, hey, I'm going through what you're going through too. How are you dealing with this and that? So, bro, kudos to you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that. Back to our friendship. We kind of already talked about this, but the moment where you thought to yourself, or told you that this guy is a real guy, he's a genuine guy, I could stick with him, I could make moves with him. What moment told you that? What situation, what feeling, what thought in your head? What was it, something that I said, told you that this guy, yeah, he's here to stay,
Damn, that's a good question, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's a good question, bro.
We kind of already touched about it, but maybe it could be different for me. Different.
Definitely that time. CNIT weekend, slept over at your house, and we just had that whole talk. You feel me? We had that talk about our past, our dads, this, that history, and just seeing that we had so much in common, even on a deeper level. It made me say, damn, like already that we had a strong bond before. That, like I said earlier, that's what really defined it for me, that moment in particular. But if I had to say another moment, this is still this was early, before even the CNIT moment, and that would be that time where you defended me, in front of the other guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm this little French guy from Montreal, and you did your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You stepped up for me, and then from there, took me under your wing, and we just been balling ever since. Then from there, we started working out and something. That's what really started. Everything started saying, hey, going to the gym today. Yeah, boom, we meet there, get to work, you feel me? Go back, get something to eat. We live not too far, so that. You feel me? A lot of our early experiences that really set it apart for me. What about you, brother?
Feel me? Again, what I said earlier with the whole familiar stories and stuff like that, and our whole childhood were the same, identical. And if I had to think about another moment, another moment. There's a lot I could tap into. It's a little moment that happened in the CNIT tournament. I remember I was going up for a Bible study with my parents. It was the whole family. And then I was like, yo, Sean, stay downstairs. He's like, nah, I'm coming. This guy said, I'm coming. I'm coming to do the Bible study with you guys. I'm like, oh, okay, say less. Like, he's not some standoff, you know, or I'm doing my thing. He respects what my family does. Like, he respects the religion, he respects the beliefs. I'm like, that says a lot. That's a little act, but that says a lot about a person. So I pick up on the little things, you know. I don't pick up on the you know, little gifts, but like the little acts that you could just tell when someone's genuine and they're not just doing it to do it.
Man, that's crazy.
Do you remember that, by the way?
Bro, of course I remember that.
Okay.
I was a little shook over here when you brought that up, bro. God damn, bro. That's... Damn.
I didn't think you remember that. Honestly, I remember everything. Trust me.
So, wow, I didn't know it impacted you like that, bro. That's crazy. But no, bro, you know how I feel about God. I have a real strong relationship with God. So that to me, that was really minor. If anything, I wanted to see your family's perspective on because of course we all have our own perspective on stuff based on how we grow up, but I wanted to see your family's perspective as far as how you guys see God, as far as what are your beliefs. Like, yeah, we both believe in God, but what are your beliefs? How do you guys explain? How does your mom teach it to her kids? Then I can go back to my house and see, oh, you know, in other houses this is how they do it, you know. So that was minor for me, but to see that it impacted you like that, that's what's up.
Yo, when I first met your mom, bro, it was like, I'm like, yo, this, like, I know, like, it just seemed like that was your mom. Like, it was just, she was energetic, she was funny, she was humorous, she was talking to me Lingala. I was acting like I understood everything she said. I was just going with the flow, you know, awkward stuff with her. But it was that day where I came to Brampton, you know, from Burlington. I said, I'm gonna go meet his family, stuff like that. And that day, I'm like, man, this guy's. I loved your mom. Like, she was showed a lot of hospitality. You know what I'm saying? And just, you got the little brothers running everywhere. You know, a nice big house. You got a lot of people coming over. The food was great. You know, we chopped it up for a little bit. I met your friends. Like, it was just a great night. And that was another moment where I'm like, okay, thank God I came here. And it was a great time, you know. And I slept over. And that was another moment where I was just like, man, this guy's a cool guy, bro.
That's real, brother. That's real.
I know you remember that.
Of course I remember that, bro. That party that went not as planned. Not as planned. Holy, bro. Nah, let's not talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that, but regardless, it was still a good time. It was still a good time, man. It was good times.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I hear that. But in the end, bro, what is let me think of this one. As far as, you know, we touched on many points, right? So what is probably your funniest experience with me, bro?
Funny experiences with you. Okay. It's kind of tough because I don't really remember the funny moments or like of us laughing, because most of the time we're serious. We always talk about deep talks. We have our little jokes here and there, but for the most part we're serious. So if I had to think about a funny moment, man, I gotta send that back to you, because I can't really think of one right now. I can't.
Funniest moment?
Yeah.
Bro, it's good times, more times. You know what I mean?
It's more good times than funny times.
It's besides good times, more times. So, yeah, you know, scramble that.
Scramble that, yeah. But I have a question for the audience. Thank you for watching so far. If you're still watching the video, like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all that. We appreciate you tuning into the Voice of the Tomorrow podcast. But I have a question for you watching. What determines a true friend? I'm gonna be asking Sean, aka Broke Boy, at the same time. But what determines a true friend? Like, what little acts either breaks it and you're like, nah, I can't mess with this guy, or like, yep, I can mess with this guy because it's little acts. Like the little acts, the little actions, the little details that really determine a genuine relationship. Not the big, you know, Instagram, oh, I'm with this guy all the time, selfies, this, that, but the little acts that really determine a relationship. And what are the little things that break a relationship? So both things.
Loyalty, brother.
Yes, sir.
Loyalty. Not a lot of people have that. Feel me? Not a lot of people have that. So loyalty, bro. A lot of people think that they trust somebody, you know, and they have that full person's trust, but it's really through experiences that you create that loyalty, right? We're all around people every day, but it's all the little things, you feel me? Like, it's all our experiences throughout our friendship that made our friendship what it is today. You feel me? I can just get up and make a podcast with anyone, bro. So loyalty comes through those experiences. You feel me? You don't just meet up someone in the street and, you know, just give him your hand. So loyalty, to put it really simple, loyalty, bro. All I gotta say, man.
So loyalty is your number one thing.
Loyalty is number one, and it's sad because you can't give it out to a lot of people. You don't get it from a lot of people. So for the rare people that you have it with, preserve it, and don't be a fool that just gives it to everyone, right?
Yeah, cherish someone's loyalty, because once a loyalty is gone, once you break someone's trust, it's gonna be hard to go back. So cherish someone's loyalty. Be grateful for it. You know, me and Sean, we're very grateful for each other. We tell this probably like 3 times a month. Like, we always tell each other that we're grateful for each other, because we know how rare, or how you don't really see loyalty like ours, you know. So we really appreciate what we do for each other. We really appreciate that we met with each other. Thank you, God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
But, you know, for the most part, I'm excited, man. I'm excited that we did this. I'm excited that this is something that was in high demand. A lot of people have been asking us to do this. It's here. There's been a lot of trials and tribulations, but our time has come. So we're not gonna let COVID stop us. Not gonna let, you know, anything going in the world.
No, sir.
Stop us. So I want to thank everybody tuning in for this first episode of Voices of Tomorrow. Many more, much more to come to the channel.
Much more to come.
You know, stay tuned eventually for the guests that we'll be hosting on the show. Definitely some interesting people that I think people will definitely tune in for. And you can find our socials in the description below, right? So anything you need to say to the audience, brother?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of interesting people are going to be coming onto the podcast. A lot of interesting stories, you know, within athletes, models. It just goes down the list. Entrepreneurs, businessmen.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of people in contact. We know a lot of people through our different experiences in life, and we're going to be putting it on this podcast. So again, thank you for watching the Voices of Tomorrow podcast. I'm here with my boy, Broke Boy. We just finished our number 1 episode of the year, number 1 episode of our career. And again, appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Get the ombre hoodies in the description.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for watching. Sean, you got anything to say?
Until next time, man.
Until next time.
All I gotta say, bruh.
Okay.